And then our ranking segment, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're sticking with the MLB. That's good. We're not talking about the NFL a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we expected to, but we didn't really talk about the MLB a lot last week. We are kind of running out of topics to talk about as far as the NBA goes, with the exception of when they start the season.
Right.
So, and like I said in the beginning of the show, we talked about NFL deadline moves that we wanted to see, NFL or NBA offseason moves that we wanted to see, and now we're going to get into our top 5 though.
Yep.
Offseason moves that we want to see in the MLB.
Yep. I'll go first.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually have like a lot of big names in mind.
Okay.
So number 5, right? We're gonna go 5 to 1.
Yep.
So number 5, Chris Bryant will be traded to the Nationals. I went with like big. I was like bang bang. So they have a huge gap with Rendon leaving last year. Chris Bryant, he hasn't been the same since his MVP season. He kind of marred with injuries, but also just he hasn't been kind of the same guy he was.
Yeah.
So I think he might need a new change of scenery. And he's a free agent in 2021, but they might give him like a trade.
See, I have a hard time getting on board with that just because Chris Bryant grew up a Cubs fan, and he has kind of that's kind of he's not going to want out if they don't want him, unless they don't want him back, obviously.
That's a good point. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, and
but I did see they had a lot of guys that they need to sign, like Javier Baez, and a couple other guys, like bigger names. I think Rizzo's another free agent.
Yeah, I would say that him, Javi, and Anthony Rizzo are the foundation of that team. So I would think that they would try to get them back and kind of replace the outfield before they try to get rid of or depart from Chris Bryant.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a good move for the Nationals nonetheless. But I just don't see Chris Bryant having a change of scenery unless.
I actually forgot he was a big Cubs fan too.
Yeah, I don't see that unless there's some sort of unrest in the front office.
Falling out or something.
At my number 5 spot, JT Realmuto is up for a contract this offseason. He's a potential free agent. I got him going to the Rays.
Ooh, I like that. They need another. Okay.
Yeah, Mike Zunino is up for contract. JT Realmuto is top 3 catcher in the league, and they have a lot of pitchers.
He might be the best.
Yeah, he's definitely up there for sure.
Yeah.
As far as well-rounded, he might be. Yeah, I would say he's probably the best. But the Rays have a lot of pitching, and they don't really have that. Like Mike Zunino's served as a bat and not a defensive catcher. JT Realmuto, you have both.
Yeah.
So you got guys that he can connect with right away with Glasnow, Snell. A couple of the other young guys that they have, the bullpen, Nick Anderson, Diego Castillo, and all those guys. I think that serves as a really best case scenario move for JT Realmuto and will be a huge move for the Rays.
Yeah, I would be. My number 4, I'm talking to him a little earlier, but Justin Turner is going to sign with the Braves. And the reason I'm going to say this is I have another move that the Dodgers are going to make that is going to fill in that third base spot. But Justin Turner, he's getting old now. He's been tremendous for the Dodgers for all his years. I think the Braves also need a third baseman because Donaldson was big for them, and then he left for the Twins, I believe. Right?
Yeah, they have Austin Riley though, which is why they let him walk.
True. I don't know. I saw because I was doing a little research for this because I wasn't kind of like NBA, NFL, and MLB are kind of like by 3. I don't know much like a crazy amount as the MLB compared to the other ones. But this is a move that I saw and I was like, I kind of like that. Just in terms of, I like the move to the Braves. I don't know.
We'll see. All right. This is where that move could work out because if the National League keeps the DH,
good point.
That would serve as a really good move for them actually, and they can fluctuate between Austin Riley and him at third.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that. I mean, yeah. If that stays in place, then absolutely, good move. And then at my number 4 spot, we haven't really had a guy that we wanted to re-sign yet with the team. And speaking of the Braves, Marcell Ozuna is up for contract this year. I would like to see him stay put.
Yeah, he was great for them.
That outfield is really, really good between him, Acuna, and Nick Markakis.
Yeah.
Very good outfield. And that, I wouldn't say that that's their core, because you still have Freddie Freeman and a couple other guys. Ozzy Albies, Dansby Swanson, those guys in the middle.
Dansby Swanson has been great for them too.
Yeah, I think the Braves can be a legitimate threat if they make like another pitching move. And and then but first on the agenda has to be they have to keep Marcell Ozuna.
Yeah.
So I hope that he stays put, because if he does, the Braves could be a legit contender.
The Braves, yeah, I think they're another, like a pitcher probably away, because Max Fried was good for them.
Max Fried was really good, and Ian Anderson
Yeah.
was phenomenal as well. So they really need just one more established guy
Yeah.
that they
To
can have a
keep-
consistent rotation going.
Yeah, keep their offense out of that. Wow, I like that a lot.
Mhm.
My number 3, mentioned him again, but Trevor Bauer to the Angels. The Angels, I think, need another big move. Trevor Bauer is from Northern Hollywood, so maybe that's a little kind of thing right there. But they need a starter, and I think they'll bring a little swag that the Angels need, because they haven't made the playoffs with Mike Trout in a while.
Yeah, you got Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, Anthony Rendon. They're not getting any younger. That one Angels downfall has been their pitching. And
I can only name Otani as their
yeah, Otani. Oh yeah, I forgot about Otani. And then if you put him with Otani and Joe Madden,
right.
that's a recipe for
I
success
wanna-
in itself.
And I want to see the Angels play. I want to see Mike Trout in the playoffs.
Yeah,
come
we
on.
can't.
He's a
waste Mike
generational
Trout.
player. Give me a freaking playoff.
Yeah, we can't waste Mike Trout like we're wasting Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
That can't be two of the same.
Yeah.
At my number 3 spot, I have Charlie Morton to the Bronx.
Ooh.
You have Severino coming off Tommy John this year. Paxton's coming off an injury, but he's gonna be fully healthy going into next year. We get Domingo Germán back, and obviously we have Tanaka, but we're susceptible to injuries, obviously, and we don't have a guy that we want to put out there in a game 7.
Yeah.
Severino has been the guy that we kind of gravitated towards, but we kind of went away from him. We did James Paxton a couple years ago against the Astros.
Yep.
We started him game 7, but Charlie Morton is one of the best, if not the best, big game pitcher in the league,
Yeah.
and that's kind of something that we're missing. And Brian Cashman's always willing to shell out any
Right.
amount of money that he can to really make the Yankees a contender.
Yeah.
So I think Charlie Morton is the best case scenario move for the Yankees in the offseason.
I don't probably see the Rays doing that, just because they like that rotation I bet, and that's their strong suit. But that would be a great move for the Yankees.
Yes, absolutely.
At my number 2, Nolan Arenado to the Cardinals. So he is one and out for a while. I feel like he hasn't again, they're kind of wasting him. He is one of the best third basemen I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
He is
defensively, he's
Gold
incredible.
Glove in every single year. I think he's been in the league 8 or 9 years. Gold Glove every single year.
Right.
That's unbelievable.
Mhm.
So he is for sure the best defensive third baseman, and he's a pretty damn good hitter as well. So I think a move to the Cardinals, a change of scenery for him will do him well.
Yeah, that slipped my mind because I knew there was 2 guys that I wanted to put in this list that I knew were going to be requesting trades, or were going to be trades circulating about them in the media for a little bit, and he was one of them. And then obviously, as most of you know, the other one that I'm not going to spoil it yet, but I forgot to put him in the list.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I like him too, so I want him to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I was looking at more free agents than I was trades.
Yeah.
But yeah, my bad. But at my number 2 spot, I got George Springer to either the Padres or the Red Sox.
Oh, let's go! UConn boy.
Yeah, I think that he'll want to be more of a hometown body at some point in time. I'm sure that anybody that's up for contracts in the Astros probably wants to get the hell out.
Yeah.
Just because they don't want the bad publicity, they don't want to be tied to that organization anymore. And George Springer is a UConn product, so it wouldn't surprise me if he went to the Red Sox, but also if he wanted to go to a contender. And
Padres, right?
Yep. He would make the Padres so much more well-rounded as far as offensively goes, because their really only notable outfielder I want to say is Trent Grisham.
Yeah. And Will Myers too this time?
Oh, Will Myers. I thought he was first.
I think they move him around a little
Yeah,
bit
they
too.
move him around. I know he was playing outfield at one point in time.
I would like, because to the Padres, he would bring experience too.
Yes,
And if he's like the only guy I like on the Astros.
yes, I never had anything against George Springer as far as the Astros channel goes. Like I said, UConn product, very likable guy. He wasn't really outspoken as a part of the scandal, so I assume that he agrees with the rest of us and was like, that was the most messed up thing they could have done.
But to the Red Sox, oh my God, I would love that kid because.
That outfield would be what? Martinez, Verdugo, and him?
Yeah, well, Martinez is not.
Oh, Jack Bradley.
I think he might be gone. I mean, defensively though, if they keep Bradley, Verdugo, because they would have to give him probably Benintendi if they're going to get Springer.
Oh, I forgot about
Yeah, because he was out pretty much all this year.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with, I mean, I was always a fan of Benintendi, but he has not been the player that, like, because he was the 5th overall pick that we took him at.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want him to go away, but if that means to get Springer in order to get rid of him, all for it.
I got into a couple of Twitter beefs a couple of years ago about Benintendi because this was when Judge first got onto the scene too.
Right,
He had his run,
rookies, yeah.
and everyone wanted to fight me as far as me saying that Aaron Judge is better than Benintendi.
Yeah,
Who's laughing now?
yeah, I wish Benintendi was a little better. But he was good in our World Series run, so that's all we needed him.
Mm-hmm.
Am I number 1? Francisco Lindor. I hope this doesn't happen, but to the Dodgers. So I looked this up. They said, so they moved him to short and moved Seager to third. That's why Justin Turner will be out and moved to the Dodgers. Dodgers have so much money, might as well give him. I don't even know if that's possible because the deal they gave to Mookie and they're going to have to pay Cody Bellinger. But I looked it up and I saw they were the favorites to get Lindor. I was like, how's that possible? But imagine him with the Dodgers. That's a super team.
That's a super. We don't see super teams in the MLB like that either. So that oof.
I don't think that would happen. I don't think.
Because we don't need a Warriors in the MLB. We like the Thanos balance.
Yeah, perfectly balanced. Nothing should be.
I also have Lindor in my number 1 spot, but I have him going to a much more of a potential powerhouse instead of an already established powerhouse. I have him going to New York. In the Mets.
Ooh.
The Mets are kind of missing a shortstop. They have Ahmed Rosario, I think. Was it Ahmed Rosario or Nick Ahmed?
I'm not sure.
Nick Ahmed is Diamondback, so I think it's Ahmed Rosario.
I like that.
But yeah, they kind of have a hole there. They have Pete Alonso, and then they get all their pitching staff back, and DeGrom, Stroman, and Syndergaard.
Yep.
And their bats come around every now and again.
Yeah.
They got hot at the end of the 2019 season, and they had most of the same guys. And I would think that would serve as Lindor would serve as a leader role and kind of a catalyst.
Yeah.
So I think in order for the Mets to ascend, they have to go out and get someone like Francisco Lindor.
I would much rather see that than the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that a lot. He's still young too. He's like 26, I think.
Yeah, he's young.
And he's a freak.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that was good. We talked a little about MLB. I like to see that a lot. And then we got next.
We're sticking with the baseball
true.
team.
I forgot we're doing that. Yeah.
Top 5 players to watch going into next year at the conclusion of the MLB season.
Mm-hmm. I'll start this one off.
All right.
I think you did the last one.
Mm-hmm.
My number 5, Ronald Acuna Jr. Young guy. He could have been one MVP this year as well. Like he was up there with Freddie Freeman for the Braves. And he's an animal. He hits for he's a 5-tool guy. And he's like must watch TV. Like look at him and he's an animal. He's always like going crazy on the bench too.
Yeah.
So Ronald Acuna Jr. is my number 5.
I also have Acuna at number 5 for all the reasons that you said, but I kind of have a designated number 5 too as more of a joke, but Carlos Correa and Jose Altuve. Not for the reasons that you think, only for the sole purpose that we're going to have fans next year. And I hope that one of those, whether it's full capacity or like quarter capacity, we're going to have fans, I assume, in some way, shape, or form. And we always love the MLB fans that go the extra mile and throw in the beers and everything. So I think that they're going to let Correa and Jose Altuve have it, and I'm all in on it.
Yes. My number 4, I got one of my favorite guys in the MLB, but Fernando Tatis Jr. Him and another guy I'm going to say are probably the future of the MLB coming up. He's must-watch TV. He's the most exciting player in baseball, and he's very good at baseball. So Fernando Tatis Jr. my number 4, and I actually went to a Padres game. When I was in San Diego. He hit a leadoff home run. I fell in love with him immediately.
Yeah, understandably so. He's electric.
Yeah.
He's electric. He might be the face of the league moving forward.
Definitely.
It's probably too early to call now, but
Yeah.
he definitely has the star potential.
Mm-hmm.
At my number 4 spot, I got one of my favorite players, Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is always going to be under a microscope in the Bronx. He's going to be the face of the Bronx as long as he's there, I'm assuming. And just the fact that we kind of see two versions of Aaron Judge every year.
Every year.
With he either gets really strikeout heavy or he is just on fire or is hurt.
Yeah.
So
There's three.
yeah, so really three. But we as Yankee fans are dying for a World Series, and
You guys need one so bad.
we are.
I hope it doesn't
dying
happen for a while. I gotta say that. The rest of it.
Understandable, but no. But yeah, it's just he's going to be under a microscope. He's going to have to deliver at some point, and he's going to have to lead the charge for a championship run. Him and Garrett Cole are going to be the two guys that we're going to look to really take us to the promised land.
How old is Cole?
Cole
Like he's signed for like 13 years, but or
is he?
12.
I feel like he's somewhere
I feel
between
like he's
28 and 31.
I feel like he's 30. I think he's better than 30.
That's
fact
what-
check.
Yeah, that's what
So
we.
you're gonna fact check that. I'm gonna go to my number 3, Juan Soto. He batted like 351 this year. He's like 21 years old. Another young guy. Like, come on. Like, he's another guy. Like my 3 that I listed, must watch TV. He already won. He won a World Series with the Nationals already. He was 19 years old, or maybe just turned 20. But he's turning him and Tatis Jr. I believe are like the future, along with Acuna, the future of the MLB.
Yeah, see, I left Juan Soto off my list because I don't really think that they're contenders without Rendon.
Yeah.
I might be jumping the gun a little bit on that because we said the same thing as Bryce Harper left, and they still deliver. I love Dave Martinez, I love Juan Soto, I love Max Scherzer, but that team itself is very like it.
Right, well, they got their World Series, and now they might go downhill. I can see that,
Yeah.
but I think like he's legit.
Yeah, no question about it.
Yeah.
At my number 3 spot, I have Walker Buehler.
Interesting.
Walker Buehler has taken over the ace role in the Los Angeles system, seemingly, and that's going to be a lot of pressure, especially being the World Series champs.
Mm-hmm.
Having all the expectations that he does, he's been phenomenal in the playoffs for the last two or three years.
I want to say 3 years.
Yeah, but he's been phenomenal, and he kind of came out of nowhere. He was somebody that we weren't really like super excited about when he made his debut. And he's kind of pitched his way into being one of the top pitchers in the league.
Yeah, I remember like not even hearing from him, and then like within 1 year, I was like, this guy's a star.
Yeah, I was introduced to him in the, I want to say 2018 Milwaukee series,
Okay.
and he dominated the Brewers.
No,
He blew everything by him. His stuff is amazing. His motion is so explosive, and he's just really fun to watch.
Yeah, no, he's very good. My number 2, I went with 3 young guys. My number 2 are my 1 and 2 are proven guys. Mookie Betts. Again, he's one of the best players in MLB. Still nice. I'm not a big fan of him anymore because he's not a Red Sox. But he's a great guy himself, but he's even a better baseball player. And you got to watch him play. He's a 5-tool player. You saw in the postseason, he's robbing home runs, he's hitting home runs, he's stealing bases, does it all. So Mookie Betts, my number 2.
Well, I just talked about somebody that came onto the scene for me in the postseason, and this guy definitely came onto everyone's scene in the postseason, I'm sure, because we struggled figuring out his name for a couple of weeks, and then we knew it immediately. Randy Arozarena.
Yeah.
Randy Arozarena had one of the greatest playoff runs, if not the greatest playoff runs, as a hitter in postseason
How
history.
many home runs did he get?
10,
Yeah.
10,
Postseason.
which is nuts.
Yeah.
That was, what was the home run leader we had this year, 23? In 62 games?
It was your boy Luke Boyd.
Luke Voigt
I think he
with
had
26.
Did he have, no, I don't think he had that.
I think he was in 20. Alright, well.
I'll fact check.
Alright,
I'll
yeah.
fact check.
22.
22. I actually had
22.
22.
Yeah, so if he has 10 in the postseason in what, like 25 games, 24, something like that. Yeah, something in that realm. His ceiling
that's
is
insane,
insane,
Mm-hmm.
and he's
He
electric.
literally came onto the scene,
in the
and
book.
now he's a freaking star, right? Jeez.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to be anything. The Cardinals got rid of him in a nothing deal a couple of years ago, and we didn't know that this was in the ducks for him at all. And so, especially the Rays coming off a World Series appearance, and that really being their guy on offense,
Yeah.
I think he's going to be another one that's under the microscope as well, and we're going to be expecting him to live up to that postseason.
No, he grew up in front of our eyes. Yeah.
Mhm.
My number 1, still best friend in baseball, Mike Trout. I really hope he can make the playoffs so we can all see him in a national spotlight. Because I haven't seen an Angels game in a while. I just see him on highlights everywhere, doing hitting bombs, ground home runs. You could honestly say he's one of the best players ever in history. Just talent alone.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't really give him like the GOAT title until he does something in the playoffs.
No, I totally agree.
But Mike Trout himself, you have to watch him. He's one of the best. So Mike Trout takes my number 1 spot.
In my number 1 spot, I kind of went a different direction because obviously Mike Trout is still the best player in the league, but we don't know what they're going to be like for a contention standpoint.
Exactly.
My number 1, Fernando Tatis.
Yeah, I can't argue that.
He's one of the most electric, if not the most electric player in the league. The Padres are going to be looking to be contenders for years to come with him and Machado running the show. And he showed this year that he has MVP potential and he has face of the league potential.
Early on, he was the MVP favorite. I know it was early in the year, but
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so I think he's only going to come out next year with more vengeance, more fire, and I know that playoff loss for him is going to sting, as with Manny Machado.
Yeah.
Manny Machado does.
Yeah.
But
He was good this year.
Yeah, I want to see Tatis really be that face of the league that we all think that he could be.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And then our last segment, again, one of our fun things, 2 weird things we've seen this week, which is cool, kind of way to end it. I know we talked about earlier, like we need a cool way to end it. So this is what we came up with. So you go.
My first weird thing that I've come across this week is Oregon really running on thin ice over there, legalizing recreational drugs, including LSD, cocaine, and heroin.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have the streets of Oregon just gone and just a bunch of zombies or people trying to run through walls. So I mean, good luck. And I told you at the beginning of the show, whenever something like this, like it's one thing with weed, but like something like this circulates and it actually went through, they passed the law. It reminds me of the Family Guy episode where the United States made weed legal and everyone was gone, the news reporters, the streets were all walking like zombies.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that it would be a lot like what Oregon is now.
I don't even know how they were able to do that.
Yeah, yikes. We're gonna see a lot of. You guys are probably gonna see a lot of new faces out in Oregon because there were probably a lot of neck scratchers wanting to be free.
For one of my ones, I saw this on Instagram, but Bo Jackson said that if he played in today's era, he would average around 350 to 400 yards a game. No one's denying Bo Jackson. You have a picture of him right here. But come on, that's insane. 350 yards in one game, like easy there, bro.
Yeah.
Easy.
I don't like Bo was a specimen. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But
That's like godlike.
Yeah. If Derrick Henry's not doing that, I don't think he would be. I love you, Bo. I think you're one of the best, or one of my most favorite athletes of all time, just as far as like what he brought to the table as being a dual threat in both sports. But
we're taking dual threats to the whole new level. Not even 2 sports.
Yeah.
Come on, man. 3 out of stats.
Yeah, does he mean from scrimmage? Because if he
Had
means
to
from,
be.
I hope he meant for scrimmage, because at least that would be a little more realistic.
Yeah.
But it's still not within the realm of possibilities.
Yikes.
And so my second random thing that I saw this week, CNN had a special guest today, and it was nobody that you think it was. It was nobody that I thought it was going to be. It was the Hub. The Hub made a little bit of an appearance on CNN. For some reason, some horny bastard was using the corporate computer to really get it in, so to speak.
I don't know how that happens.
How you do that in the first place is beyond me, but how you don't have within your mind to get that off of the screen and to get that cleared.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's going on. We've seen a lot of hub type scandals. We had the Microsoft guy that was getting one in a Zoom call, or who the hell was it? That guy? It was somebody important.
I do know.
You guys know who it is. Look it up.
The Hub.
But yeah, the Hub is really is really making a presence in 2020, and nobody's surprised.
That was I saw that video today. Actually, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
For my two and our last one, I just found this out a couple minutes before we even started filming. I didn't even know Robert Kraft didn't own, like, it wasn't mac and cheese, like that wasn't his thing. I always thought it was, but apparently it's not. He was like Kraft Group, which was like paper stuff. Now I could be wrong, but I looked it up in Google several different times and found different sources that said it had nothing to do with like the Kraft mac and cheese. I was shook.
I don't know why those two things never clicked for me, but now that I think about it, why didn't I know that? But I love Kraft mac and cheese.
Yeah,
By the way, great product.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, because like it says Kraft Group, a diversified holding company with assets in paper and packaging sports.
So
Maybe those.
Dunder Mifflin?
Yeah, maybe he's Michael Scott.
Okay. Fair enough.
Michael Scott's making $6.6 billion. I don't know.
Yeah, or he has an in with Jan.
GM corporate. God, I love The Office.
But yeah, I never put that together.
Yeah.
And
I
now that you say that out loud, that's very weird. That's not. Then what
I
is
just
it?
assumed. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I think we used sus a lot today, but I was a little sus and I was a little confused with it.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, interesting. Very, very interesting developments that we are coming across.
Yeah, I know we kind of went a different platforms. We were all over the place.
Yeah, we were all over the road today, to say the least.
Yeah.
But that's our show. We hope you guys enjoyed, and we're going to be producing episodes every week. So keep in touch with us on social media. I Rest My Take Pod on both Twitter and Instagram. We're going to be more active on those, or at least we're going to try to be.
For sure.
Follow us on YouTube, I Rest My Take Pod as well. And we'll catch you guys next week.
Have a good one.